Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our second episode of Sugnana. In our previous episode, we spoke about how Kalash is not a decor. It is a symbolic representation of us, the human beings, the self or the Brahman within ourselves. So, in today's episode, we would like to know, as we are approaching Shravana, or some of us call Savan, every month in our ancient Panchanga carry a significance. They carry a lesson to us, a learning to us, a significance to us. What does Shravana or Savan mean to us? Why is it important? It is celebrated extensively in all Bharatavarsha. What does it carry with it?
So Shravana is the fifth lunar month, and Shravana and Shravana. So this is where Shravana Nakshatra dominates Shravana Masa. That is why the last day of Ashadha and the beginning of Shravana is being celebrated as Jyotirbheemeshwara Vrata in South India, and it is being celebrated as the flower festival in North India. So it has highest significance. And when we relate Shravana and Shravana, Shravana is the first step to learn. Shravana, Manana, Kirtana and Nidinyas, So the whole of Shravana Masa is full of the festivals, the marriages, Usually Shravana is the month for where a lot of good things happen and lot of muhurtams been pointed and noticed in Shravana Masa. And people do speak about the auspiciousness of getting married in Shravana. So there is a scientific reason for all this. Our body and mind is prepared to learn because we have completed the month of wind, which is Ashadha. So the whole purification has happened. Now the body's mind is so fresh to receive anything from the universe. So the whole month, Shravana and Bhadrapada, Bhadrapada it is, not Bhadrapada. Bhadrapada is your feet is so grounded. So this is 2 months for us to learn. And if you look at the festivals also, it begins with Jyotirbheemeshwara Vrata, though it is the last day of Ashadha. We consider from today it is Shravana. And ends with Ananta Padmanabha. So there is a very important correlation. There is an opening and there is a closure. What is the opening? Opening is Jyotirbheemeshwara Vrata. Jyoti is illumination. Bhima is one of the form of Rudra, Shiva. Who help us to ground, and Ishvara is everything. We welcome everything, staying grounded, illuminating knowledge is Shravana and Bhadrapada. But still grounded. We are grounded. We don't entertain Ahankara because the whole of celebration adopts unity in diversity, promotes integrity in our life. That is why Shravana and Bhadrapada is considered to be very important for people to see.
So now as we have understood what is the importance, and we also know that Puranas are the case studies that have exhibited its significance, which Purana has spoken about this understanding of Jyotirbheemeshwara Vrata? Because whenever we talk about it, there are multiple contexts attached, multiple versions of stories, and all seems relevant and relatable. So which Purana, the Puranic reference of this make us understand better about this day?
There are 2 stories, Deepthi, with respect to this. And in Vrata Ratnamala, there is a story about Sushila who won over Yama and she could save the husband's life. Is a story, is a folk story. But what does Purana, that is our own history, speaks about this? In 2 incidents, we can see this particular Vrata is being discussed. The first is Parvati. Parvati does tapasya to win over Shiva. Shiva doesn't accept her because she is a human. Already has had an experience marrying a human sati, and he doesn't want to go through that grief ever again in life. So he will tell, once you realize your potential, that you are beyond human being, I only will come and embrace you. So it is this day that he realized that Parvati is having that potential of being Kali and potential of being Bhairavi, potential of being Bhuvaneshwari, all 10 Vidyas, because on this day, after winning 7 chakras and 2 Rudras, there are Kapali and Pingala are the 2 Rudras, totally 11 Rudras, out of which she will win Kapali and Pingala, and the third is Bhima. So she lights 5 diyas and meditate on that. Cleanse through 5 agnis, Panch Agni. So if you see the married woman, when she gets married newly, there is 9 years that she worshipped this Jyotistambha, that is in the form of the Sadashiva, the Mula Rupa of Shiva. Okay. Usually we don't know the significance. The significance is husband is in the form of Rudra-Bheema, because he is the protector. The third form of Rudra is a protector. And he makes you feel safe. He makes you feel secure. Makes you feel grounded. And he makes you feel satisfaction is being promoted by this energy. So out of 5 Agni, she wins over Surya Agni first. Okay, that is Surya Agni for our photosynthesis. She becomes nurturer. Okay, so Shiva becomes nature and she becomes nurturer. Right, Prakriti and Purusha. Number 1. Number 2 is Agni himself. Okay, whatever you put into Agni, it gets purified. So Shiva is Agni and the purification is Shakti.
Okay.
Right? And the second Agni. The third Agni is lighting. There are times that you have to be bold like Kali. And where is that energy coming from? Where is that courage coming from? Shiva. She wins over the third Agni also, realizing the Shiva within the consciousness, the power of mind and consciousness, even at the hardest times. And the fourth is earthly. That is Homa we do, Havana we do, Yaga we do, and we sacrifice. Okay, we give something to the Prakriti. Okay, receiving. How good are you in receiving? A lot of people can handle failure but not success. So when you are at receiving end, when God is giving you plenty, abundance, how do you take it? Okay. And the fifth is the Jataragni. How do you digest things? Assimilation and digestion. She will over all 5 Agnis. And Shiva is so pleased. And he will come and embrace her at the second Rudra Puja. Okay. And all other 10 are all achieving the 10 Vidyas. Okay. Bhagamalini, it can be Chinnamasta, it can be Dhumavati, Kamala, all these 10 Vidyas are the Rupas of Parvati, getting educated from Shiva, the various Vidyas that one has to develop to be a successful woman in a married relationship. Okay. So that is the significance of Jyotirbheemeshwara Vrata. That a woman is telling, hello, I am having 5 Agnis and I know this potential. I can lead life and I can also accept you as a leader and also be in the leadership. That is Ardhanarishwar. And the second story which speaks about, you might have seen in lot of movies also it is being shown. There is a mud, a doll-like thing that we worship. A Kumari before marriage accept that doll as a husband. Okay. This takes us to the story of Meenakshi. So Meenakshi is the most beautiful woman on the earth. And there is Atma Vivaha that happens. She will just believe that she has been married to Shiva and start living. There is no physical presence, there is no mental attention, there is nothing. But going back and remembering or putting that Shiva's image in front of her itself gives her a lot of happiness. So she invokes Shiva in a small doll. Okay. And start feeling that I have been married and start living that married life. She will speak to Shiva, what we call in therapy today, wisdom talk. She expresses everything. One day, she misses him a lot. She wants to see him. Okay, she will call Shiva. And the Shiva word is full of compassion and kindness. It's not stimulation. It's completely
an upward movement.
Aspiration. And Parvati listens to it. Hey, somebody is calling. This voice has so much of emotion. Shiva tell yes, she is my birthday. Okay, immediately he will tell, sometime I want to go back to her and come to you. Parvati is so doubtful after marriage, So why is Shiva going to Meenakshi? So she'll stand behind a tree and start watching. Shiva will go to Meenakshi and Meenakshi's parents. Shiva, you need to marry her. She's not getting aligned with the earthly things or worldly things. She's not able to make connection with that. Otherwise, Sarthakate will not happen. The Sarthaka will not happen. So Shiva tell Parvati is the only wife. I can't accept her as a wife. But I will always reside in this, those who do puja, keeping a small mud. A Shiva like husband will marry her. Shiva like husband. If you look at the epistemological level, the girl who is not stimulated, the girl who doesn't get into sensualities, who always be in a spiritual realm and understanding life, understanding self, empathizing people, showing kindness, will develop consciousness. That is Shiva.
Shiva.
So a Kanya offering puja to a doll of mud offered and understanding that it is, or imagining that is Shiva, is nothing but an allegoric understanding that consciousness is important before marriage, and that can be achieved only through spiritual practices. It doesn't mean religious practices, it means spiritual practices. And Shravana Masa is the right time because
As it
your
is the
mind
right
and
time for
body is
learning.
steady. And also, if you look at the muhurtams of marriages, Shravana has lots, Bhadrapada has lots, because the body and mind is ready to reproduce. Right? So, this is the significance, two significant stories from our Itihasa, Shiva Purana, which talks about this particular Vrata. There is a lot of argument that does happen, okay, when it comes to Ram. We call it as Panchama Veda. Why a Sita has to bring so much and touch the feet of Rama. Even today, here in South India, and also see North Indians, okay, that festival of flowers, they offer flowers to Shiva and come back home and they do puja to their husbands. Okay, here in South India also we do that. So usually when we speak about equality, we look at the actions and say that she's been looked down upon. Okay, look at the ahankar of the person. It's not about that. Prakriti is the downward movement of energy. Purusha is the upward movement of energy. So there is a connection that is happening with the downward movement of energy of two people. Shiva, and she has to bend because it is her place. When you look at Lakshmi also, she sit near the feet. It doesn't mean that he is looking down upon her. No, it is her place. Downward movement of energy. This is a feminine energy. She's being offered her place. And feet is being looked down upon. I don't know from where the sense of feet has taken the negativity.
Correct.
Feet starts. Gopuram is feet. The temple Gopuram is the representation of one's feet, one's energy. So she is touching the energy of consciousness. So we have to go back, flip our history pages in Purana and become more modern. We are not.
We are trying to understand Purana from 21st century mind frame, which is actually chaotic and confused.
Correct.
The symbols are all messed up.
Yes, and it is not as it is being showcased in movies that one is doing so much of puja to husband and husband is abusing. No, it's not about that understanding. It is a very surface understanding. That's why I always say to read Panchama Veda, the 4 Vedas are available. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and Atharvana. 5th Veda is an invisible Veda. And that is well inside, embedded. You have to travel inside to flip those pages. The one who travel inside and flip those pages will be able to read Panchama Veda, that is our Ramayana and Mahabharata. You need to become Ram to understand Ramayana. You need to become Krishna to understand Mahabharata.
So thank you for giving a new perspective of equality and new perspective of Shravana. It is not just a month of festivals. It carries a very important significance of inner transformation. It's the time of transformation, be it in nature, be it within us. And thank you for setting the context right. And now, if people who all we have listened would look into this month and the upcoming month of Bhadrapada with a very new perspective or fresh set of eyes. Thank you, Dr. Asha. Thank you all for joining us.